Welcome to your Week 15 NFL Power Rankings. They're your rankings. I am football knower Brandon Perna. The curse wheel successfully took down the Chargers, and we'll spin it at the end of the show to see which team it smites this week. Now, before I rank the top teams, we gotta go to the afterworld. Starting in hell, Bryce Young. He's in hell. He received praise this week for praying for injured Eagle C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Nice job, Bryce, because C.J. returned to defeat your team. Your prayer for the enemy worked. Next time you're praying for an opponent, ask for a fucking win for your own team as well. And also learn this, Bryce. If you want to succeed in the NFL like the Chiefs or Tom Brady, you look down when you pray. You look down and ask for fiery help. In Purgatory, Aaron Rodgers, who literally believes he lives between two worlds.
I live between two worlds of the extroverted
1, 2, 3, dominate!
And an introverted lover of silence.
Who says that about themselves? In heaven, Panthers running back Jonathan Brooks, who tore his same ACL again. He tore his ACL last November while playing for Texas. He just got back onto the football field, and I feel horrible for him. I'm also giving the healing light of heaven to Cowboys pass rusher DeMarvion Overshown, who's going to require full reconstructive knee surgery, which has his return slated for 2026. And that sucks because he was having a great season after missing his rookie year with the torn ACL. He was turning into a game wrecker, so Godspeed to both of those gentlemen. Now, this was the final week of the byes, and the Broncos, Ravens, Texans, Commanders, and Colts all didn't play. That's 4, maybe 5 teams who would have been on the power rankings, but can't be on the power rankings because they didn't play. Let's start at 12, the Buccaneers. Thank you, Jakey4701, for pointing this out. The Buccaneers might be kingmakers. The last time the Lions and Eagles lost was to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They started the season 3-1 with wins over Detroit, Washington, and Philly. Their only September loss was to the Broncos. But since those losses by Philly and Detroit, they're undefeated, 20-0. So my question, Tampa, why didn't you beat my Broncos? I've got bad news for the Bucs, though. Bucky Irving is dealing with a back injury, and Antoine Winfield Jr. is going to miss some time with a knee sprain. Bucky's back issue might be minor, but never underestimate a lingering back problem. Those two dudes are part of the big 5 that this team needs on the field down the stretch. Vita Vea, Baker, Mike Evans, Bucky, and Antoine. If you got a moment, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We crossed 669,000 subs, trying to get to 700,000 subs by the end of the season. Can we do it? I don't know. 11, the Bengals. If Cincinnati had any semblance of a defense, say just the 20th ranked defense, they would be feared by everyone. They allow the 7th most yards per game, 4th most points per game at 27.7. And get this, their offense is averaging 27.8 points per game, 0.1 more points than the defense allows. The crazy part is, if their defense was just a tiny bit better, got 1 or 2 more stops per game, I believe the Bengals would have the best offense in the league. That said, they have the most prolific quarterback and receiver in the NFL right now. Joe Burrow is on a 5-game passing streak with 25 or more completions, 250 plus yards, 3 plus TDs, and no more than 1 pick. No quarterback has had that much arm power for more than 3 games in a row. Joe leads the NFL in passing yards, touchdowns, and donuts to the face by guys named Chase, who's so fast you couldn't hit him with mace. Can the Bengals make the playoffs? Let me make the case. 3% chance to win the race. Let me throw a football by its lace. Watch that shit vanish without a trace. Am I done? No, when we watch the Bengals, it makes us want to strangle. Okay, yeah, I'm done. Ja'Marr is first in receiving yards, receptions, and touchdowns. And again, this track meet of a team has just a 3% chance of getting a wild card spot. Number 10, the Chargers, lost in the fact that they have fallen short in 2 of their last 3 games. The Chargers defense is still ranked number 1 in points allowed. Imagine if the Bengals had the Chargers defense. For a team that's good on defense and commits the fewest number of turnovers in the league, they should be better than 8-5, right? I mean, Justin Herbert still has only thrown 1 interception this season, and it happened in week 2. I think the problem is that in 4 of their last 5 games, the defense hasn't taken the ball away once. They had a pick party against Kirk Cousins, but in those other games, they haven't been opportunistic enough. The offense has scored 30 or more points just once this season, which isn't good enough for a team that has Justin Herbert playing quarterback. They need weapons, we know that, and they might not have the right offensive coordinator in Greg Roman. Coming in at 9.5, my sponsor, Underdog. We're doing great on signups, guys, but we have got to pick up the pace if we want to hit 10,000 signups. At 10K signups, Underdog owes me $1 million and basically guarantees the future of this channel forever. We're 40 away from hitting 4,000, so I'm going to up the ante. If we can get to 5,000 signups by the end of December, I will bring back the monkey tail beard. That gives you 3 weeks to help me get 1,000 new signups, and I will look stupid for all of the playoffs. These are my Thursday night picks on Underdog. Puka's higher was the easiest pick of my life. I also took Debo because I think he scores after getting community noted this week. So just use my code That's Good or the QR code or the link below to download Underdog, the best fantasy app and pick'em game offerings on earth.
And an introverted lover of silence.
Number 9, the Seahawks. After throwing 12 interceptions in his first 11 games, Geno Smith has failed to throw a pick in his last 2 outings, both wins for the Seahawks. This is a team that rebounded mightily after their overtime loss to the Rams and subsequent bye week, ripping off 4 straight wins and taking over control of the NFC West. The Seahawks are still one of the bottom quarter teams in terms of running the football, but I think they might have found something with some fruity, lovely birchwood notes and Zach Charbonnet. And I'm expecting him to get a ton more touches even when Kenneth Walker is back in the lineup. Charbonnet was a wrecking ball, getting 91 yards after contact against Arizona, the most by a player in a game this season. Now it becomes a battle of nicknames. Zach Charbonnet, the world's greatest MILF wine, brought to you by the same idiot who named his wine Josh, or K9, the Widowmaker. Either way, the Seahawks running backs got a weird thing for older married women. Number 8, the Rams. How good is Puka Nacua? Well, he's in seriously elite company through his first 25 games, wedged in between OBJ and Justin Jefferson on the all-time leaderboard through a season and a half with 2,194 yards. Not bad for a 5th rounder. He's also got 5 games of 150 or more scrimmage yards in these first 2 seasons, which ties him with Randy Moss and Jerry Rice. 2 guys generally accepted as the best wideouts in the Super Bowl era. And oh, by the way, this team still has former Super Bowl MVP and 2021 Triple Crown winner Cooper Kupp as their second option. The Rams will be extremely dangerous if the NFC lets them get into the playoffs. Unfortunately for them, they're still a game behind the Commanders for the 7th seed.
Live between 2 worlds of the extroverted.
Number 7, the Packers. The Packers are 3rd in their division, but they still hold the 6th spot in the NFC playoff bracket, and they have a 97% chance to get into the tournament with 2 of their 4 games left against teams with winning records. Jordan Love was throwing picks left and right in his first 8 games. 11 of them to be exact, but like the second half of last year, he stopped throwing the ball to the other team. No picks and no fumbles in his last 3 games while throwing 5 touchdowns. The bad news for Green Bay is that Romeo Doubs, who's probably the steadiest of their receivers, is still in concussion protocol after sustaining one in the Week 12 win over San Francisco. That's a long time to still be getting evaluated, and hopefully he's going to be okay going forward. And at 6, yeah, the Devil Doinkers. All we can hope for is the Devil coming for KC. The Chiefs are 12-1 with a point differential of just plus 56. That's the lowest of the 26 12-1 teams in NFL history. Of course, the team that had the second lowest were the 1976 Oakland Raiders, a team that, yes, went on to win the Super Bowl, but to put this into context, for this season alone, the Chiefs only have the 11th best margin of victory in 2024 behind teams like the Chargers, Broncos, Packers, and Steelers. Will this ultimately matter? It might. It depends on how long the horseshoe remains firmly lodged in their asses, tickling their prostates. But at the end of the day, this is a team that knows how to win close games better than anyone else. But it doesn't change the fact that their tackle positions are very shoddy and their defense has the 5th fewest takeaways in the NFL. Maybe the addition of corner Steven Nelson coming out of retirement will help. He was very good in Houston last year, so it probably will.
And an introverted lover of silence.
Number 5, the Steelers. Oh God, I almost forgot. Go fuck yourself, Kansas City. Now, the fact that the Steelers got a convincing win without George Pickens shows they're a little more two-dimensional than we may have previously thought. Their defense has regressed a little bit in terms of scoring, but a lot of that has to do with the shootout against the Bengals a week and a half ago. One of the more underrated acquisitions of the offseason was the Steelers acquiring former Panthers cornerback Dante Jackson, who has 5 interceptions in his first season in Pittsburgh. Remember what they gave up to get him? That's right, Deontay Johnson, who not only left Carolina, but has also caused nothing but chaos in Baltimore. That's a win-win-win for the Steelers, and now they have a ball-hawking corner opposite Joey Porter Jr. Number 4, the Eagles. I know I can already hear Eagles fans getting angry, but I heard angry Eagles fans after they won. Yes, angry after defeating the Panthers. Carolina took KC down to the wire, Philly. But that's the difference between Eagles fans and Chiefs fans, right? Chiefs fans haven't been hurt for a long time. They trust their team too much. Here's why Philly is dropping to 4, though. Locker room drama. First, you had A.J. Brown bitching about not getting enough passes, again, after a win.
Things you think that the offense needs to improve on. Passing.
You're throwing the ball like 20 times. Incredibly tough.
Now that's pretty standard from your wide receiver though, right? Only a wide receiver would complain after winning 9 in a row. Now A.J. Brown's been around long enough where he should know better. You know, you gotta have your quarterbacks back. But that's not a big deal on its own. But then we watch Brandon Graham basically say Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown are having relationship problems.
The person that's complaining need to be accountable. I know that one is trying. And I mean, 11 could be a little better with how he responds to things. And they was friends before this. It's like, man, but things have changed.
Brandon, you sound like a gossiping teenage girl. You know what? They used to be besties, but then AJ got totally jealous of Saquon getting all of Jalen's balls, and now he feels left out. And I heard Jalen's mom took him and Saquon to Dave & Buster's and gave him each $200 and let him play till 11 o'clock, and AJ didn't get invited. And now he's mad. Number 3, the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo drops to 3, and while I am now terrified their defense will get torched if, say, the Bengals somehow sneak into the playoffs, I still believe in this team. Josh Allen gave us the greatest losing performance we've ever seen from any quarterback or player ever. Buffalo got hit by a desperate Rams team, a team Sean McVay always has ready to go. Buffalo played Sunday without Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman again, but what I love is Josh Allen has built chemistry with the depth on that offense. Mac Hollins has touchdowns in the last 2 games. Ty Johnson ripped one for a big touchdown, making all 3 of the Bills' running backs threats. I love that Amari Cooper had 6 receptions for 95 yards, and now we just need to see him become a threat in the red zone the same way D-Hop is in Kansas City. The Bills better hope corner Rasul Douglas's injury isn't serious. He said he thought he could go back into the game, but they need to stay healthy on that back end. If your back end is hurting, the Chiefs will relentlessly pound that shit. They've got no respect for the back end. Number 2, the Vikings. Sam Darnold is in my MVP conversation. But don't get too excited, Vikings fans, because I have conversations with myself a lot, and people think I'm crazy. I'm not! I'm not crazy! I'm lonely. There's a difference. Anyway, who are the other quarterbacks' names that we've inserted into the MVP conversation at points this season? Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, and Josh Allen. Sam Darnold trails only Lamar and Goff for passer rating on the season. He's got 28 touchdowns, 11 picks, 3,200 passing yards. While many people thought Darnold would do well this year with KOC and those weapons, nobody thought he'd be this fucking good, and I am really, really happy for him. Now, I do have to shout out the KOC graphic Fox cooked up for the game. I've been calling KOC Cock all year. I've been cock blocking myself out of a better nickname for this man because of my immaturity. Moving forward, Kevin, I'll do my best to keep calling you Kevin on the call. And number one, it's the Lions. Yeah, you're still kings of the jungle, Detroit. And when you win the Super Bowl, it will be because Dan Campbell went for it on 4th down. In fact, he'll set a Super Bowl record completing 7 for 7 4th down conversions. And when he dies, his testicles will be studied by the greatest scientists on earth because his balls are so powerful. Now, let's spin this stupid curse wheel. Now, it came to my attention that the dongle was broken on the curse wheel. It has been replaced. So stop bitching about where it lands, everybody. Now, do I go right or left? Right or left? Let's go this way. Don't forget, Underdog, sponsor. Let's get those 10,000 signups. Oh, no! Oh, see, I put 666 here for the Chiefs. We got 7. Who's at 7, though? Damn it! Who'd I put at 7? The Chiefs are 6. Steelers are 5. Oh, it's the Green Bay Packers. No way! No way! Sorry, Tom. I took your pee off, Tom. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here. This is YouTube. You gotta subscribe on YouTube.